Seeing a lot of, and I feel like I've talked about it before, but just gambling in general, right? There's a big outcry about people making commentary videos about the moral dilemma of promoting gambling, like Prize Picks, stakes, FanDuel, casino gambling, whatever. And there's people that actually believe that gambling should be banned. And one, it's funny. I think gambling, I'm not saying it's great for you. I'm not advocating it. I've sports gambled in the past, and I was terrible at it. But I never looked at sports gambling and thinking like, oh, this was going to make me money. I knew I was probably going to lose money. But I am not a fan of banning stuff like that. I'm sorry. I think people that blame gambling for their gambling addiction, blaming FanDuel, blaming casinos, blaming... Now, there's a bigger issue with casinos where if you win too much, then all of a sudden they stop you, and sometimes they won't even pay you out, and they'll accuse you of some shit that you weren't doing because you're making money. That's a separate issue. But gambling in general, I'm sorry, but like, you need to stop blaming casinos for your lack of self-control, or because you had a father that blew his money and your parents divorced because of money. Like, your dad just had a lack of self-control. And what it does, to me, the bigger issue with it is it takes it kind of, I hate to bring it back to Cassie, but it takes the accountability of what you did to put yourself in that position. You made yourself make an account, whether that's online or going to a casino or whatever. You created an account. You deposited your own money. You placed your own bets, and you lost your money, or you won your money. That is not their fault. You did that. And the issue is, I think, is a bigger microcosm. It's like we always want to blame companies, global enterprises for why we're broke and for our addictions. Like, you want to, so what? You want to ban alcohol? Yeah, we did that before. You know what happened? People drank more, and people have the right to want to enjoy shit. My theory is, in this new age, we want to ban gambling because it's typically a men's vices. And we think if we take away vices out of society, that it will just solve issues. And you know what? If a guy doesn't gamble, he's going to drink. If you take away drinking, he's going to do something. He's going to beat you. He's going to take his rage out on the world. Now, there's some guys that have the trifecta. They do all three. But a man has a choice to what he wants to do with his money. A person has a choice. And I hate to take that, regardless if 99% of people fail, never make a dollar from it, never make any income. Gambling is not designed to make an income. But there are people that do. But it's supposed to be just an experience for people that do want to do it. I just can't stand, we have these videos, the morality of promoting it. They should be able to promote their shit the same way we allow fast food companies. I'm sorry. Like, if your son sees a FanDuel ad at the age of 23 and becomes a gambling addict, it is what it is. But if he doesn't have the self-control to know when it's a problem to stop, then that's a him problem. That's an individual problem. We can't hold companies accountable for what you voluntarily decide to go and do. Because what it does, it takes away for make some money and have a little extra for whatever. That's the part that hates me. Like, I hate when you restrict access to stuff. Because what I think, I hate to, it's not liberal, but I think what people that are so against the stuff is they think the more restrictive we make it, the less problems we have. But all you're doing is you're complaining about the same shit that you wouldn't want happen. You complain about having more inclusion. You want more broadened access to things. We all want to, not have any restrictions. Everyone have the same opportunities. And then what you do is you cut opportunity from something that could be something someone enjoys in a healthy manner. You can, vape your Pokemon elf pen to the day you die, but someone can't bet $20 on whether Jalen Brunson is going to get 23.5 points or not. You tell me what's more harmful. Because you know what? A person, we can't say we live in a free fucking society and we tell people what they can't do with their money. When we already restrict, when we take taxes for Social Security, that most people are not going to see. You're going to get taxed, and then you're going to get taxed again when you take it out. You get 401k, you get taxed again. You're nonstop getting taxed out of your butthole for every little fucking thing. Interest and tax, and then, someone wants to make some extra money quickly, and that's a problem. I just don't like when people tell people what they can do with their money, because you're opening a can of worms that you don't realize. It's always coming from people that use ChatGPT to get through school, ChatGPT writes their essays for their whole college career. And then when they're 25 having to make a resume, they don't know how to make a fucking resume because they had ChatGPT. But I guess you could just have ChatGPT. And it kind of defeats the purpose. Like, you realize people are only hurting themselves when they have obsessive use of automated use. Because sure, you might get good grades and stuff like that, but then when you get out in the real world and try to apply a lot of skills and you can't apply it, guess what? You're fucked. All the shit that you win the $60,000 in debt just to have something else do the work for you, and you didn't even get the benefits of it. You didn't get a real measure of where you stand in something. You get into a field, you feel overwhelmed, you feel underqualified, you feel like you don't know what you're fucking doing, so you quit after 3 years, have a midlife crisis, start a podcast, try trading, and, you say, fuck it. I'm kidding. I never graduated college, so it never mattered to me. And that's fine by me. But I don't have this illusion, but at least I just quit college because I wanted to. Because I knew it's not something, I didn't feel like, for me personally, it was going to pay off for me. Because I knew the things I wanted to do had nothing of substance or value of what I would take out from here. Because you got to remember what degrees are. They aren't necessarily certificates that this person is actually qualified to do the job. It just means you're credentialed. Credits doesn't necessarily mean I can have, put it like this, you can have two people in investing, finance. One person, they have the same credential from the same university. You get them in the building, and then you ask them, and then you have them break down spreadsheets. You have them break down finances. And they don't even know what a reverse mortgage is, some of these people. Some people don't even know what an annuity is. Some people don't even know how to do their own taxes, and they're in finance. But you're taking people's money and investing money, and you only know how taxes work. And that's the thing, people don't realize, the beauty of education, and it's you constantly have to keep learning your profession, or you're going to get dated out of it. You can't just leave the classroom, never read another book about the thing again, and then you're, an aquamarine for the next 40 years. All right, it's not aquamarine, it's, what the fuck? I'm trying to think of 50 First Dates, whatever that he was, where he worked with dolphins and shit. But yeah, it's fascinating to me that I think gambling should always be legal. I'm sorry. And maybe it's come from a male, a degenerate who doesn't even gamble. But I wouldn't. But I hate when people try to take gambling is what has made America. And I honestly do think, I just hate, I don't understand people. I understand, you're worried about the youth and shit, but we're obviously not. We're putting shit in the food. We're giving medicines that are useless. We're advertising shit, putting stuff in people's bodies. They have no idea what they're doing, but you're worried about someone who worked for their money and they decide, you know what? I want to risk this money. Gambling, investing, long term is risky. You can invest, here's the thing about, people always talk about index funds. My belief about the stock market that I've developed, and I promise I'm going to come back to gambling. The stock market, the reason why the stock market will constantly keep going, the price of stocks, the price of these index funds, they're going to constantly go up. One, to adjust for inflation and cost of living. Two, it's because there's a lot of fucking money and people that rely, and if they want something to stay going up, they're going to keep it going up. Okay? The whole job of the stock market is to balance each other out. You have a really bad couple weeks, and then a week where shit just blows up. Everything is just balancing. Nothing stays down forever. Nothing stays up forever. It's only a matter of time for things to go back and forth. It's a gamble. And people, but there's always a possibility where the S&P, where it's at $5,400 or some shit at any given day now, maybe $5,800. That shit, during the crash, it went down to $2,800. Just 10 years ago, that it was down in the 3,000. It's up to $5,800 a share. That thing, who knows, in 10 years from now, we could have an epic global war and shit. That thing could go down to $1,000. Who fucking knows? But if the S&P goes down to $1,000, we all probably got bigger issues to worry about because no one's going to have a place to live. But you could be taking a gamble thinking you're making this safe investment everyone talks about, and then 10 years from now, you lose all of it. So there's nothing guaranteed. Anyways, right? But yeah. I'll tell you, there's an actor. I've really marveled. I think the reason why they gamble, I keep seeing videos making commentary and it's a younger generation people talking about the problem with promoting gambling and what it's doing to the youth. It's we gotta hold people accountable. You become an alcoholic, you gotta take accountability for that. No one is sitting there just pouring it down your throat every day. It's a condition. People fall into bad times in life. People become chemically addicted to feeling good, and they have that everyday feeling of next thing you know, it's with weight gain. I've gained a little bit of weight. But I'm aware of what is happening. I'm not blaming anyone else because I've been a little bit lazy than usually am, because I'm not as active. I'm sitting down for most, I'm not sitting here blaming society because I have a beautiful fucking computer that can do a lot of shit. Because I can watch movies in HD. I'm not blaming that because, I put on 20 pounds in 3 months. That's stupid. I'm about to fucking eat again in an hour. Of course I'm a fat fuck. That's why I'm wearing a black sweater. And it's weird. I get it. It's an easy thing. You could blame the foods we have. You could blame America for this and that. The food dies. It sucks. They should be taken out. But you could have found food without food dyes a month ago if you wanted to. Like, you're worried, like, people worry about the food dyes, and then they're fucking, going to Chipotle every fucking day and think they're eating healthy, not knowing the seed oils and shit that's in that. You can't, you got to fight your battles. You got to understand that not everything is some corporation trying to fuck you over, except if it's insurance. Then they're fucking you over. And the fact they make it legal, like, oh, you gotta have insurance. It's like, why the fuck do I have to have insurance? I'm the liability. Hello? I get it. You get in an accident, they want to... It's like, I'm going to get in an accident. I have this full coverage insurance. It's not my fault. And then somehow you're going to twist it in a way where, like, well, since they hit you at this time of day and you were in between policy changes, we actually can't cover this part. It's like, oh, so what have I been paying $240 a month when I've had no accident? Somehow my insurance was fucking raised having no fucking incidents. But you want to sit here and tell me I need fucking insurance. And then when I actually need you, then you're paying the fucking ass. You're like the fucking bank. Hey, I've been not costing you any money. And then the second I need you guys, hey, sorry about that. And you're like, oh, okay. Fuck me. Daddy. They're fucking you, all right. But yeah, good times. We've cultivated a society where it's lack of accountability, blame, always blame it on government, always blame it on third-party corporations, always blame businesses that are like, hey man, we're just here fucking putting slot machines. Like, you guys think you're pressing buttons where a fucking pig is farting out 10K on a slot machine that you just pressed a fucking button and you think the odds are in your fucking favor? Like, go eat some bacon, you fat ass. Crispy bacon. That's the wild part. It's fucking, it's like, God, I'm just so annoyed by it. God. People think, like, I'm sitting here, like, I'm going to sit here and have a gambling ad. Like, I mean, it's just like anything. Like, I probably wouldn't sit here and be like, guys, if you aren't gambling, what's wrong with you? But, yeah, I would probably be like, hey, use my promo code, 20% off. Only spend what you're willing to lose. Like anything in life. You got to have limits. You can't just go out to eat and have no limit. Like, have a respectable limit. Like, hey, you know what? If I go to a takeout place, my rule is for one individual. Even in today's crazy inflation, I am not, if it's just I'm picking up some food just for me, I am not spending more than $15. I'm just not. There's something, when you're spending $20 just to eat for yourself, for lunch, like, there's something odd about that. Like, it doesn't feel right. Like, I'm picking up food that's pre-made that you guys just, put some shit together. I'm not paying more than $15. So you got to have those rules for yourself. And, God, it's just like, people always, oh, my grandfather was a World War II vet, and then he became an alcoholic, gambled away his whole VA, and then my grandma had to leave, then she was in debt. It's like, well, then, that dude just didn't give a shit. He probably had PTSD. But you're blaming because he, lost $20K on an online blackjack table. When the bigger issue was his PTSD from World War II. People always want to blame, oh, it's gambling's fault. It's like, no, it's all the stress that you put on the man. Oh, it's all the, it's all the love your child never felt. They never actually go to the source of the fucking problem, why your kid drinks his life away.